How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another discussion here on GameXplain, and we are talking once again about Metroid Dread, because the Metroid Dread hype train is in full effect right now, and we're all just super hyped for this game coming out. And there was a new trailer posted a few days ago, so we're going to talk about that here today. I am joined by Trav Guy and RayApollo, and we are going to talk about this Metroid Dread trailer. But before we get into that, I do want to say we are going to talk about the stuff that's in the trailer, clearly, and I know some people don't want to spoil themselves with whatever's in this trailer, so that kind of brings me into the first topic is Nintendo showing too much of this game before launch? Let's start with you, Trav. What do you think?
No.
Let's start with you, Ray. What do you think?
So, I mean, in all honesty, like, yes and no, but only in the fact that it's like, yeah, I want to see it all for the first time myself, but I also just want to see more of it. And it's been how long since we got a 2D Metroid, so I don't really care.
Mm-hmm. I think, all right, we're already past the spoiler gate, right?
Right.
Okay, I think that the only thing, yeah, cover your ears right now. The only thing that I think is even remotely close to showing too much was that Kraid is back.
Yeah.
And that's the closest I got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was of two minds when Kraid showed up. I was like, oh, I wish I didn't see that, but also I'm hyped anyway. I don't care.
Exactly.
I feel like they didn't show enough to make me warrant getting mad, because it's just like, oh, he's there, and then Samus runs up his belly, and that's it.
Right. I mean, and then everything else they've shown is basically a similar formula to everything else we already know about Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yes, they're giving us some mysterious story beats, but I mean, it's a story we don't know. So.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Like, if they showed us the ending, like, that'd be a different thing.
Right.
But
Right.
And I would assume, with how careful Nintendo is playing this game to the belt, or however that saying goes, I doubt that they're going to show too much of the end game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, you could tell in the trailer there are some spots where it's clearly closer to the end of the game. But it's different.
You see Samus in the gravity suit a couple times.
Mm-hmm, that's right. And it's just like, but either way, it's not like if they show, like, oh, by the way, the X-Parasite's right here, guys.
Samus Return spoilers, they did a pretty good job at hiding that final boss for a while.
They sure
really
did.
Right?
Yeah.
My goodness. But I swear, like, if Ridley comes back here, I'm kind of going to be annoyed.
I think that if it's like some kind of clone or something, that's fine. But if it's the original
Right.
Ridley, that's when I have some problems.
That's when I'd be like, but wait, oh, no. I'd be a little be like, okay, fine, that I guess, but no. I mean, if we're thinking about it, this could also be one of the things where we have kind of seen like inklings of like further into the game, but that could be midway. That could be a whole nother sequence after the.
What if there's a suit
game.
After the gravity suit?
Exactly. What if there's another? Who knows? I mean, please, but still, who knows?
What if there is another suit? What could that possibly be? Like, I can't even think of it. Like, the only other suit that I remember, there's the Phazon suit, then there's the light suit. Right. What would this suit be? The X suit?
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Maybe it's just all of the parts of her dead enemies now. Who knows?
That would be excellent. But moving on from Kraid, who's possibly a clone, let's be honest. I mean, I don't even know how many times Metroid enemies have to die over and over again.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Right, seriously. Which also makes no sense in Other M when she gets a PTSD attack. Like, you shouldn't even be surprised he's back.
I have no problem with Samus having PTSD, but her having an episode that late into the canon is kind of an issue for me.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Especially after how many times she's basically Terminator, no emotions, killed this dude.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And almost died, or been blown up, or seen, like a planet explode. Yeah, that's a lot. So,
and when she looks at Kraid in this trailer, she's just staring him down while he's
stone cold.
Not only just staring him down, but also charging her buster or cannon.
Yeah, just
ready to do the job that she always does.
Straight up. But there's a new threat in town, and it looks to be an evil Chozo. Like,
all right.
Like, it was speculated, at least I speculated earlier, like, is this a Chozo? Is this a Chozo robot? What is this? But it's got to be a Chozo at this point. Like, they wouldn't
it has to be.
Yeah, they wouldn't be hyping this dude up, or dudette. There's been speculation it's a female. Up if it wasn't a real Chozo.
I kind of hope that it is, or maybe it's somebody who has Chozo armor. I'm not sure. That'd be very interesting, because, I mean, we know that, well, not that we know, unless, I think they told us in the video reports they've been putting out that the Chozo robots are kind of a thing. So
Yeah, they did point that out, and I actually had to, when I was in the middle of exporting my analysis, actually uploading my analysis, I looked at the Dread report again, and it said, by the way, this Chozo robot right here is a Chozo robot, and I'm like, darn it, I have to cancel the upload and add that thing that says, by the way, it's the worst feeling ever. Usually I have to go in and re-narrate some things, but this time I was like, nope, you're getting text this time. I don't care.
I'm pretty sure that the big guy we see is not a robot.
I'm certain.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, my whole speculation for how this series is going to go is, and Joey, I'm not sure if you've talked about this, you probably have, but my idea is, like, you know, Samus has the last Metroid DNA, and at the end of Samus Returns, we see that there is a rogue faction of Chozo, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just simply want Samus so they could rebuild their Metroids, if they even want them.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
How many times
I
have
mean,
Metroids?
there is also a lot of emotion when, you know, they kind of have that standoff. Like, you can see there is emotion there. There's kind of like some spite. And I'm like, robots don't have emotions yet.
Yeah,
but
and
still.
then, like, he starts like chanting some stuff when he holds Samus.
That's true.
Or she.
Yeah, I remember reading the Dread report Japanese version has so much more stuff in there that I didn't even notice until after I exported my analysis. It was like they mentioned that the Chozo says something, and they even said the words, but I don't remember the words off the top of my head, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is that Samus knows what those words mean, which makes sense, because she was raised by this Chozo. She's probably very fluent in their language. So, yeah, who knows what this means? I guess we'll have to find out. Will there be subtitles in the final game?
I want a Chozo to tell me bedtime stories in their language.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that Chozo is probably cursing her out in Chozo, so, yep.
Oh, man, for sure. Like, man, there's a whole lot more Chozo stuff in this game we're going to get into later, but we keep cutting back and forth between the fight within the trailer, which is a really cool trailer editing technique. Props to the editor, man. Trailer editors don't get enough love.
That and, like, there is some genuinely great cinematography in these cutscenes.
Yes, they're so good, and I'm like, you paid so much attention to detail, and it makes me so happy.
Like, I only know this because this is fresh off my mind. Like, when they went back and they made Super Metroid, their idea was, like, we wanted to make a game that felt cinematic as well as an action game. And I'm thinking, like, man, if only you could see what kind of stuff you'd be doing 30 years out.
Oh, man, seriously.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. And I'm also...
It's so good.
Yeah, and we already know, the Dread report confirmed this, but this battle takes place right at the beginning. Like, I'm thinking we don't even get full control of Samus until after this battle.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Samus in the orange Varia suit is supposed to be the suit that you start off, and then it's taken away, probably by this dude.
Yeah, basically, you get bopped and you have to, I lost my rings, and have to go reclaim all of my abilities, yes.
Get my rings back.
Do you guys think that this orange suit is supposed to be the Omega suit from the end of Fusion, or do you think that it's something else?
It could very well be.
It looks like a version of that, absolutely. To me, it does. Especially when there's some frames that if you stop on it, you can see, like, the like, tissue-ish, like, muscle fibers in the back of it, and that's what makes me think it is.
I think so too. I think it's very possible. But, you know, I mean, isn't Super Metroid set right after, like, literally seconds after Metroid 2? That's what it feels like, at least. And she still loses all her abilities for no reason.
Yeah, they haven't really explained that yet.
Because video game.
Video games. Video games. Chef's kiss there. But yeah, I'm also coming around to the art style of this game, because I'm going to be honest. Like, I wasn't too hot on the art style at first.
Really?
Really. It was kind of just like coming off of, you know, Metroid Prime and the Prime trilogy in general, which is just a shining example, especially if you count Metroid Prime 3, where the bloom is just way too intense.
So much.
Of just great art styles for Metroid, or just games in general. This kind of feels like a step down, but also it's 2D. So I am kind of thinking, like, what's more important in 2D Metroid and just Metroid in general is just how it plays. But also looking at the art in this game, like pausing and looking at certain parts of the trailer, like with the palace sections as well. If Metroid Prime 4 looked similar to this game, but running at a fluid 60 frames per second all the way, which is what this game is, then I'd be totally fine with that.
I hope so. Like, I truly do hope so.
I do think that they would need to make it a bit more gritty, but yeah I agree.
Agreed. I mean, you know, we've talked about it before we started. I'm a 2D Metroid person, and so this I was like, oh, thank goodness, because It's just a more refined version of what we've been getting. And I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted, to be honest.
Exactly. It just looks so darn cool.
It looks so good.
Yeah. We got some tools shown off in this, and I thought that this new ability, the fast-moving sort of power, I actually have the Dread.
Yes.
Like the air dash?
Yes, it's like a teleport, but it's a dash, essentially.
It's called Flash Shift. That's what it's called.
Flash! That's exactly what it looks like, of course.
Man, will this ability...
That's exactly the kind of cheesiness I expect.
Will this ability let us mess up the timeline, like Barry Allen? I guess we'll have to
Barry. Not today.
Oh, you just spoiled the end of the game.
Man, can you imagine? But yeah, I thought this was just the speed booster but modified, but no, it's a completely new ability. It's an Aeon ability at that, so it completely uses up all your Aeon meter, but the Aeon ability in this game, it just refills right away, so that's really cool. But yeah, this really will just bring... I can see myself abusing this thing like crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
That makes me think that we are going to get a light suit at the end.
Makes you think, right?
Or some kind of new suit, yeah.
Yeah, that makes me think so, especially with abilities like this. I don't know, because, I mean, imagine that Chozo armor is going to get some kind of dark ability, let's be real. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could even see in the trailer that the Chozo's using some version of the Flash Shift as well. Like whenever it decides when it decides to grab Samus by the throat and just decides to end her right there, like straight up. But then the grapple beam is back. Of course, you pull stuff, you swing stuff, but you can also latch on to walls that have the magnet on them.
Yeah, the spider magnet stuff.
Yes.
Which is such a cool idea. Okay, so going back to like Super Metroid and stuff, and some parts in Samus Returns, I really am not a fan of those moments where it's just a whole bunch of those grapple points and you just have to keep spamming your grapple beam to go across them.
Yes.
I feel like this is a great compromise for that.
And those I wish it just been the spider ball, but yeah, absolutely. Yep. I'd rather it be vertical than horizontal any day. Any day.
I was already thinking when we saw Metroid Dread for the first time, like, man, Samus is more agile in this game than any other game, period. But then it's just like, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. And then this trailer comes out. She can do Flash Shift. She can do all kinds of stuff with the grapple beam. And let's go straight into the speed booster. Wall jumping does not stop momentum of the speed booster.
Really? I must have missed that.
There was an audible gasp that I had. It's like jumping does not stop it now. And I was like wall jumps are like, you can keep your momentum. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's all I've ever wanted. So speedrunners, I can't wait to see what you do.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. That's going to be a huge deal.
You know why you didn't see that? It's because it was in the Japanese Metroid Dread report. They had a video of it.
I hate it here!
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I went looking, so that's the only reason why I know. It's like, man, I can't wait. That's going to be amazing. Because sometimes I find myself trying to do it, and like, because right now I'm playing Samus Returns again, and I tried to do it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, you can't, you stop, and I'm like, oh yeah, but then they confirmed this, and I'm like, yes, finally.
But the speed booster wasn't even in Samus Returns, was it?
Was it?
Let him have this moment.
Okay.
No, because I was playing Zero Mission.
That's
before.
right.
That's right. Yep.
I could have sworn
them back to back.
Yeah, I could have sworn I thought the speed booster was in Samus Returns also, but I just beat that game the other day, and instead it's just an Aeon ability that slows down time.
Yep.
It's like a reverse speed booster, which is kind of cool.
That's right, but I'm glad they're bringing it back here, which means Shine Spark's coming back.
Yeah.
And I hope to God Adam gets some secret dialogue if you Shine Spark a certain area.
So one thing interesting about the Shine Spark for me, if you or when you see it in the trailer, the camera goes into like this cinematic angle, and you could see Samus just boosting straight up. Do you think that's just like a camera effect, or do you think that implies that you can only Shine Spark in specific areas?
That's a good question. I kind of hope that it's not like that.
Me too.
But with that, thinking about that angle, you might be onto something there.
Yeah, like I'm worried that it's going to be saved for like scripted sequences.
Yeah.
Just judging from the camera angle alone, I could just be totally far off, but.
Or what if the camera does that every time?
Yeah, and that's
imagine?
Totally possible.
It kind of
That is possible.
Would they do
Unfortunately.
Yeah, then we get the screw attack. Doesn't seem like much has changed here. The storm missiles are now a thing, and I thought, oh, they're just secret missiles. Nope. It's 3 missiles per target, and you will murder people with these missiles, just
Interesting.
barraging them.
And they say you can target one enemy with all of them if you wanted to. And I was like, wow, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, like you see those enemies that have like shields on the side of them, and then there's like a target for each part of it.
Oh man, that's just nuts. I'm glad. I know that's why they changed the name to Storm Missile, because you unleash a storm on these guys.
That's interesting though, because when I played through Samus Returns like a week ago, and by the end of the game, like I was going for everything. By the end of the game, you have so many missiles that you just don't know what to do with them.
This is true.
And so having that opportunity or that ability to just like unload everything, that's kind of putting them to good use finally.
Finally.
Makes me wonder about super missiles, because we did see Samus use a super missile in the trailer on the Chozo creature, but I'm not seeing a super missile icon anywhere.
It wasn't very super. It just made it mad.
Yeah, you literally saw it. It just made a scratch on its eye.
It just made it so mad.
Yeah, it did.
Do you think that might mean we're getting a Metroid Prime style super missile where it takes up 5?
I'm thinking maybe, yeah.
Oh.
Which would go into what you were saying about the excess missiles. You just have so many of them, you don't know what to do with them. It would make sense that way. We know power bombs are coming back. We didn't see them being used, but if you look at the trailer again, which you should watch my analysis, viewers, if you haven't already, but there's a power bomb icon right next to the missiles. We don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we don't know if it's wouldn't confirm if it was power bombs, but I don't know what else that would be.
I mean, she only has 2 of them, so that kind of has to be power.
Right.
Power bombs.
It's gotta be. It's straight up.
It makes sense to me. But also, 199 missiles. Yeah, that storm missile's gonna be great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're watching the treehouse gameplay, there's missile expansions scattered everywhere in this game.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have a missile only run. It'll be great.
Yeah, and we know the ice missiles are coming back too, which those ice missiles will be handy against a certain creature that may or may not be in the title of this game. Come on, they say you say they're extinct. I don't believe you.
I mean, have they truly been extinct? Let's be real.
Honestly,
look, I think evil Chozo Man just made some more.
Right? I mean, listen, dinosaurs are extinct. Or so we think.
The Megalodon might still be in the ocean somewhere.
I feel like having a Metroid game without Metroids, even if, they're all dead. I mean, this is like the 5th game in a row where they've all been dead at the beginning. It would feel wrong if they weren't in the game.
Right.
Exactly. There's a lab in the trailer, too, like with creatures hanging out in tubes.
I had just stopped on that frame. Like, literally just stopped on that frame.
Nice.
And it's like, what if they're using the DNA from all these other creatures to recreate Metroids? Who knows?
What if they're using the X-Parasite to clone them as well?
Yeah.
That's still terrifying.
That wouldn't make sense in canon, but sure.
Who knows? I mean, I feel like they can just do anything they want with the story of Metroid, and we would just eat it up.
Dude, they could just blame it as Chozo magic, and that would work.
Exactly.
They could say it was a dream all along, and I'd be fine.
It feels like a dream.
What if the entire Metroid series is a dream?
Oh, no.
I mean, after Samus goes back in time with the Speed Force, it will be.
Why are we spoiling the game already? Oh my god.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry. Well, we gave them a warning. It's fine.
We are on this discussion.
But okay, to go back to that very original topic of is Nintendo showing too much. You said that the Birdman fight is at the very beginning of the game, and in terms of story beats, that fight with Evil Chozo Man is really all we see. So, it's just setting the tone. If anything.
Yeah, and with Kraid, it would have been nice to just discover Kraid on the first playthrough, but they're saving the real surprise for later, which is Crocomire.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You had me
Finally.
in the first half.
Of course. Man, but if Nightmare comes back, I'm turning the game off. I can't do this. What a freak of nature that thing is.
I mean,
my goodness.
as long as if it's better than other M's Nightmare.
Well, now that you've spoken it into existence, it's absolutely going to happen.
What have I done? What have I done? Yeah, but this was...
yourself.
But yeah, I think that was a pretty good discussion. Wouldn't you guys agree? It went by super fast.
We spoiled the entire game.
I kept interrupting everyone, but I'm just so excited.
I mean, a conversation was had and it was good.
It was a good conversation to have. I'm super excited for this game. It comes out in a month and a few days as of recording this.
I'm beating myself up. It comes out the first day of Too Many Games.
Oh,
The first day of Too Many Games. Oh no!
There's some things that I'm so excited for that I try not to die before they come out. And this is one of those things. And after that, I'm going to try not to die before Spider-Man Far From Home comes out. I'm just trying I'm trying real hard not to die.
That's how I
these
live
next
my
few
life.
months.
You know, there are landmarks where I try not to die, and then I just move on till I get to the next one. When I run out of things, I'll be like, okay, well, it's time. I go.
It's just that time of my life where I have an
Exactly.
extended sense of self-preservation.
What's this? This is the last time. This is the last Metroid game. Well, I guess it's
All right,
time.
it's been a good run.
This is the last.
So.
What's that? Tobey Maguire's not playing Spider-Man anymore. It's time.
Oh no.
Goodbye, fellas.
Are we talking to a ghost?
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for joining this discussion. Ray, where can we find you?
I am RayApollo everywhere on the internet. That's RayApollo. And I'm very easy to find on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and wherever else you might think, except that place. You know which one I'm talking about. Don't look there. Anyway, yeah, that's me.
And Trav, where can we find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/thattravguy. I do video game reviews. I've been focusing a lot on Quake, but I will be focusing on Metroid very soon, so keep an eye out for that.
That Quake Switch port. I still need to keep playing it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me, and thank you, the viewers, for watching this discussion here. Let us know your hype levels for Metroid Dread in the comment section down below, and be sure to check out the videos on the right for more topics that you might be interested in. But until next time, everyone, bye, Metroid Dread.